Good morning, YouTube family. You know, this is a very personal subject, but Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 goes over the whole topic of being wed versus being unwed. And all I can speak from is what Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and my own personal experience, because once again, this is a very personal decision. But I'd like to try to cause you to think, if you're single, if you're a single Christian, because basically Paul was coming from the standpoint of saying, you know, we are in end times. And if you're single, in many ways, that's better, because you can laser beam all 100% of your attention and your focus on the good Lord. Because it's an important time to do that. The end times, basically, was his mindset. Because remember when Jesus is taken up, you know, after his resurrection, after his 50 days down here on the earth, after his resurrection, he gets drawn back up into heaven, right in front of all the apostles and everything. And the angels come and say, why are you, when the apostles are like practically grabbing him and pulling out his robes and trying to keep him. No, don't take him from us. We need our Lord. And the angels, you know, two angels then show up in the sky and say, why are you feeling this way? He will be returning. And so their mindset is it's just going to be, you know, in our lifetime that he'll be coming back. They probably didn't even think on that range. They probably thought like a few months, a year. But anyways, he goes on to say that, you know, if you're married, you have to always be thinking about, am I keeping my wife happy or my husband? So your mind really is divided. Now your spirit and your soul and your mind, you only have about 50% to give to the Lord. And it kind of, right now, it just made me think of, you know, the verse, you can't be in love, you can't serve two masters, kind of. Because it is really hard to find a married man that can be as attentive to the Lord as an unmarried man. It just makes logical sense. So, you know, I do believe we are in the end times, and I do believe that if you're single, that, you know, this narcissism really is exponentially spreading, and it's very, very biblical. You know, I think people are being given over to a reprobate mind. I think, like the Bible tells us, lovers of self, boastful, you know, that is increasing. And it is definitely related to, yes, the internet, but most specifically social media. And so it would be really, really hard. And these people are educating themselves more and more on what narcissist looks like. So they're learning how to cover it up better. And, you know, I mean, you can be dating a narcissist for 6 months, even a year, and not know it, because they are so stealth, you know, covert. So I'd like to recommend that you just completely take the opposite sex off of your radar. You know, I mean, it freed me up so much about 5 years ago. Oh, there's some deer right here. About 5 years ago, I completely just gave up on women. And so I don't pursue them. When I see them, I don't look at them. Yeah, I mean, I live in a college town. You've got a lot of these little 20-year-old girls running around in next to nothing. I just keep my life simple by when I see them, I just like don't look at them. And I know that sounds strange, you know, living in this very worldly world, secular world, but it just saves so much angst and frustration, and to just consider women as fellow human beings. So on that note, I'm gonna say goodbye. Let me know what you think about this. God bless.